we doing, guys? Back in the shop today. We're going to do a winterization on my 1995 35-foot fountain lining. Sad day for me. It's getting cold outside. My nipples are starting to poke through my shirt, so that's when I know it's time. So we're at the stern of the boat right now. This one specifically is fitted with Mercruiser Bravo 1 drives and Mercruiser 502 MPI engines. The steps I'm going to be showing you should technically work for any boat that is fitted with an inboard engine and it has a water intake in the actual drive unit itself, which 99% of the boats out there will. On the Bravo 1s, your water intake is going to be right here in these holes on both drives. You see it straight through, so it is on both sides of the drive itself. What I'm going to do is hook this cup here from the back of the drive on where it covers those holes. And the next step we're going to want to do is actually get the engine started once water is actually flowing through this drive and let it get up to temperature. I know there's a lot of people out there that are not 100% sure on how boats work, and they're not mechanics. But winterizing is not that hard, to be honest. One quick note is, guys, that each side has its own water intake. They do not share their water intake, so your port side engine is going to be, of course, on the same for the drive, so you don't want to have your water intake hooked to the port side engine and then have your starboard running, because you're going to burn that thing up. Just make sure you're starting the same one that you have your water intake hooked to. Just make sure you actually have pretty decent water pressure. You definitely don't want to take the chance of burning out your impeller. This video is just going to be a formalization on how to complete these steps. Always do your own research, and if you have the manual to your boat or you find online, follow the steps they recommend in that manual to complete your winterization. So here are the tools we're going to need today. I just went online, I believe it was Amazon, and got myself a do-it-yourself boat winterization kit. I believe it was only like $60 or $80. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Pretty much this is all it is. You're going to have a hose, a couple of adapters, and of course your jug itself. I believe it's about 5 gallons. And have plenty of marine grade antifreeze here. Well, there's 2 different brands I'm using. I had some of this left over from last year, bought too much. I have the Arctic Band for -50 by Camco, and I have some Super Tech RV and Marine. Both good for -50, and they should have no problem mixing together. So, but if you're worried about it, just make sure you get the same brand to be on the safe side. So here's the flushing kits I'm going to be using. Mainly it's just going to be this one here on the side. I don't know the part number or the technical name for it off the top of my head, but I will put a listing to it where I purchased it in the description below if you want that. Here's the other one I purchased. I wasn't sure which one was going to be perfect for my application, so I bought both. But if you're wanting the one that actually pins through, there's the part number for it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my hoses out, make sure they are flushed out. There's not any little critters that have decided to move into it in the last few weeks that I've used them, so clean those out. I'll get the muffs for the drives cleaned out and ready to go, and I'll show you how to connect those. Let's go ahead and get this starboard drive hooked up to this set of muffs, and we'll show you how that goes on. So make sure you watch your bunks. Don't get into those, and I believe this set has to set vertical. Nope, it will cover it. Long ways here. Just make sure you see it on both sides and you cannot see the holes in either one. Now there will be water that will be protruding out here from the pressure, so of course same for this side. Just make sure the holes are covered, which this one's not on this side. There we go. So next we're actually going to want to hook up our winterization kit to that. So I have mine pretty much put together here. We're going to go ahead and hook up the water hose to the kit too. That we don't have to be fumbling around hoses the entire time trying to do this. We'll just get the engines up to temp, shut the water valve off, immediately kick on the antifreeze, and the boat should technically still be primed in the water system and suck it through. To make it a little bit easier on myself, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this jug up with this antifreeze, get the cap tightened down, and make sure the valve is off so we don't dump it everywhere. So anyways, got the cherry Kool-Aid mixed up and ready to go in the boat. Decided to go ahead and just try 4.5 gallons on this, mainly because I'm an idiot and didn't buy enough. Sitting here thinking about what I just said, and I'm sure one of you idiots will probably try and drink this stuff thinking it is Kool-Aid. It's not. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but hey, you live your life. Especially after everyone's going around the internet eating Tide Pods, so I wouldn't put it past anybody these days. So we've got the hose hooked up to the system now. I did go ahead and leave the jug on the ground. When you do this, you definitely want it as high as you can, put it in the air. I'm gonna put mine on the swim platform whenever we get to the portion of actually needing to shoot the antifreeze through it. My jug does leak a little bit and I don't want it on my boat, so I'll wait to the last second before I have to do that. Let's go ahead and get this water going and see what she does. Yep. Good time to try and even out your muff here, so. Let's either get that. All wet. Probably the best we're gonna get. The engines aren't running yet, so it's gonna push around those ears right now. While that's running, we're gonna go inside, start the boat up, and immediately calm down once you get the engine running and verify you've got some water in at your exhaust ports. So these are Mercruiser 502 EFI MPIs, the Magnum series of engine. Just check the oil, it was all good. With this winterization I'm going to be doing today, we're only going to be putting coolant through it. We're just going to be antifreeze through the system. I'm not going to be fogging the engines or anything like that. All right, so we can get this thing started up. We're only going to start the port side engine. Just for precaution. The reason for blowers, guys, is so you don't actually have any fuel vapor sitting in the engine bay and accidentally kick that key over on the starter and then ignite, blow yourself up. So always make sure you're in neutral. Also, almost all boats should have a neutral safety switch, but just make sure that you're taking all precautions and don't get yourself killed, and or get your hoses and everything down there wrapped around in it. Now this thing has not been run in about 2.5 months, so hopefully the battery's up enough. We need to do this. Oh, sounds good. See how long she takes to crank. Sounds good. Of course, jump down and make sure you actually have water come out your exhaust. That tells you your actual pump is working. Get up to temp for about 15 minutes. Go let the thermostats open up, and whenever we actually shoot the antifreeze through, it goes through all the passages. A little clattery. It's been set for a few months. It's very cold outside today, so. Good old pressure is the main thing we're wanting there. So we're gonna wait for the oil temp to come up. There should be water temp in the engine, and once we get up to, I believe it on this engine, it's like 160. We're around there, we know the thermostat's open on it. We can hop down, swap the valves, and run some antifreeze through.
One eternity later.
Anyway, look quick, we're about at 160 now, so we'll watch it for a little while, and it has not raised. So then we're good. All right, I'm not sure how good you can hear me, guys. I got the jug booted up top now. Ready to shoot the coolant through. We're up to temp. So what we're going to do is immediately turn off the water hose. And as soon as we do that, quickly as we can, we're going to turn on or open up the valve for the antifreeze to run through. And don't forget to take off your vent on the top of the tank. There she goes. Take it away. Oh yeah, let's take a drink. She's sucking her down. we're gonna turn off the antifreeze now. To be honest, it probably only used about 3 gallons. We're good. But yeah, this pink's coming out of everywhere, so not too worried about it. So I feel very confident that we got the antifreeze through the drive and also to the engine now. So I don't think we're having an issue with freezing on this thing. So we're gonna do the same steps that we did on the starboard as we did on the port engine. All right, so we got the water swapped over. See what she does. Oop, see? Missed a hole. That's what she said. All right. Starboard side now. We're in neutral. Oil pressure's good. We're good. Water's flowing good. Do the same thing as before. Water off, on, cap off. As you can see, it's already coming out pink. Oh yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all the steps there is to do. But it's getting to the end of the day now. Before I come back out tomorrow, wash it down, pack her all up for the winter, put the cover on it, and wait for spring to come back by. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them. But again, guys, I always recommend is to follow the manufacturer specifications. Look at the manual. Do your own research. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Get out there and start wrenching.